History seemingly repeats itself, time and time again. Too much power can lead someone to their own self-destruction. In today's video, I'm covering a case from a small town in the middle of nowhere, Missouri, by the name of Skidmore. There are less than 300 people here, and I think that this tale is definitely a creepy one. We're going to get into the tale of the town that got away with murder, but this mystery is still unsolved. If you have an unsolved mystery or a story that you'd like to send into the show, be sure to do so by using the email or the website in the description down below. I would love to share and check out any information you have. Let's get into this video. On the outside, Skidmore, Missouri looks like a quaint, quiet town. With under 300 residents, farming is the main pastime here. The folks seem nice enough and the small community vibe is apparent. But there seems to be something darker lurking in this community. Behind the small town vibes, Skidmore is plagued by violent crimes in its past. Ken Rex McElroy was a big man, standing tall with a 270-pound frame. He was born on June 1st, 1934. His family was poor and worked as farmers, as seemingly most others did at the time. McElroy would only get to the 8th grade before he dropped out and began working. When he was around the age of 18, he suffered a brutal injury which left him in chronic pain all over his body. However, McElroy was no saint and had begun to commit awful crimes. Some have speculated the injuries he sustained to the head from the work accident could have led to his behavior. Locals described McElroy as having a sort of inferiority complex, seemingly wanting to be the big bad dude around the town. Ultimately, I say he achieved that goal. Not only was he a large man, but he was also fairly wealthy with his farming and land leasing business. He also was involved in multiple thefts that included livestock, gasoline, valuables, and more. Safe to say, McElroy was no stranger of the law. A lawyer even went on record to state that he would be on trial at least 3 times a year, which is absolutely mind-blowing. McElroy would try to use the rumor that his lawyer also represented the mob as a fear tactic around town. Out of the 21 indictments he received, he was only convicted once. He would intimidate witnesses to stay quiet. He would park outside their homes and watch them until they submitted to his wishes. McElroy's list of charges is a long and disgusting one. Among the charges are destroying property, robbery, sexual assault, violent threats, and at least shooting 2 people with a gun. Among other things, he was known to indulge in pedophilic tendencies and adultery and polygamy. McElroy had publicly dated and impregnated a 14-year-old girl named Trina McLeod. After their child was born, Trina attempted to leave him and return home to her parents, but McElroy would not allow that to happen. His response was to burn down her parents' home and even kill their dog by shooting it. This man is the definition of pure evil. There is no doubt in my mind, after only getting a little less than halfway into this, that this man is nothing but bad, bad news. At the end of the day, the small town of Skidmore was an utter terror. It seemed as if the police just could not do anything about it. But, as history shows, and repeats itself, all tyrants come to a fall. It was April 25th, 1980. McElroy went to a local grocery store with his daughter, Ernest Bowenkamp. The store owner had accused McElroy's daughter of stealing. McElroy, with his typical temper, thought it was best to handle the situation by stalking the family of Bowenkamp. Fast forward to July 8th, 1980. McElroy drives his vehicle to the back of the Bowenkamp store. He burst in, threatening Ernest, and shot him in the neck with a shotgun at close range. Somehow, Bowenkamp survived, and McElroy was charged with attempted murder. As usual, he tried to intimidate the Bowenkamps by sitting in his car and stalking them, sometimes even shooting his gun around the house. As the case progressed, things got odd though. The residing prosecutor resigned, and rumors flew around that McElroy bullied him out of the picture. A younger prosecutor replaced the previous, David Baird. Freshly out of law school, this young man did what no one else seemingly had been able to do before. He convicted McElroy of the crime. Even with this conviction though, his charge was lessened from attempted murder to knowingly causing harm to another. But a victory nonetheless, right? Well, not really. The conviction was only for 2 years, and McElroy got out on bond anyway. A fruitless victory at best. After the trial, McElroy was seen at the local bar with a rifle. He was allegedly making threats of finishing the job on Bowenkamp. Police detained him for this, but released him shortly after. The next day, there was allegedly a meeting by the local bar, with over 60 residents of the town. Rumor has it, the local sheriff and mayor were among those numbers. The purpose was to discuss how to prevent McElroy from harming anyone else in the community. Skidmore felt hopeless and felt the system had failed them. So July 10th, 1980, Skidmore took things into their own hands. McElroy and Trina were at the local bar having drinks. Over 60 people made their way to the bar and completely surrounded McElroy on all sides. When they got into their vehicle, Trina claimed to look over and see someone pulling a rifle and pointing it at McElroy's head. Shots rang out and littered the vehicle. Trina jumped out and was carried away to safety by another local. Casings from 2 different guns were found on the scene. He was shot from behind, so he would never have seen his killers. Not a single person called 911 for the shot man. What's interesting is that there were 2 different guns that fired, but only one person was ever even singled out. The entire town of Skidmore, despite almost half the population being at the scene of the crime, apparently saw nothing. The only witness was Trina, who claimed it was a local man by the name of Dale Clement, who was apparently a co-owner of the bar. He denied the allegations, and nothing was ever pursued further. The end of this story seemingly has no end. Even with the town truly knowing the truth, this remains an unsolved mystery in the history books. With fewer and fewer residents still alive from that time period, we may never get the true story, but hopefully one day we can actually get an ending to this unsolved mystery. So, is Skidmore truly the town that got away with murder? It seemingly looks that way. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, as it helps me out a ton. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to never miss another video. I upload videos similar to this almost every single day. If you have a story or an unsolved mystery that you would like to see on this show, send it in to the email or the website that you can find in the description down below. That website is swampdweller.net. One word, swampdweller.net. I'll see you guys soon with another creepy video. Many of you guys ask me all the time in the comments section how you can support the channel outside of giving the videos a like and a subscribe. Well, the best way to do that is checking out the merch store here that you see on screen. There's plenty of cool designs ranging from the Park Ranger series all the way down to Swamp Dweller logos. It's much appreciated if you check it out, and I definitely would love to see pictures of you guys wearing your Swamp Dweller merch. So send those in so I can share those in future videos.